Okay, time for stage 2 of the refrigerator replacement. So I did another video where I took the old refrigerator out, and now it's time to prep the space for the new refrigerator. And so I've taken measurements on the space here. I'm working on a plan of what we need to do. What we're putting in is a Norcold 7 cubic foot. It's a 7LX, and it is a little bit narrower than this opening, and so I'll need to build up about 3/4 of an inch of insulation on the sides. In the end, there's supposed to be basically zero airspace around the refrigerator, so I'll need to get some insulation and build up the sides. The floor needs to be level and solid. I've got a little bit of flexibility here, and it's not great, so I'm going to work on tightening that up. I may end up putting a new piece of plywood or something either over the top of this to help firm it up, or maybe take this out. So I need to think about that a little bit. The back of the refrigerator actually comes back 24 inches, which covers up most of this outlet. And this is the outlet that we will plug the refrigerator into, and this is a wire that goes back to an outlet back in the rear bed area. And I don't really like the setup here with the outlet and the Romex wire. So I think when I redo this electrical box, I'll put in conduit and run that in a better way back to having an extra outlet back in the back. So I've got some electrical work to do, and then we're also going to have to run a new gas line. So the gas line, there is no gas line now because the old fridge that we had was a two-way 12 volt and 110 volt. And so we'll document what we do with the gas line coming up from the liquid propane tank. And then I think the other big thing to work on is the opening. So the height of this is a little bit short for the new fridge. So I think I'm going to be able to take this wood out and move it up about an inch. And at that time, I'm going to look for a way to maybe trim up the edges here a little bit and just make the whole front of this a little more flush for the fridge to attach up to, and not have any gaps or anything, since I've got to come in a little bit on the sides. And then in the back here, we have a roof vent, but it's in quite a ways from the outside wall, and the top of the fridge is going to really almost be back up against this conduit back here in the top. And so we're going to have to build in some baffles here that help direct the air smoothly up through the roof vent from the back of the fridge, and we'll need to build a baffle here in the back that keeps an insulated surface right up close to the back of the fridge. And so once I get this all built in, I'll have the gas line, I'll have the 12 volt, I'll have the 120 volt moved back, and this will basically look like a box with a nice smooth vent up to the roof vent and an opening at the bottom for this lower vent to get fresh air in. And that's the plan. Okay, so things are underway, and I have installed a new outlet down here at the bottom. I'm not too worried about the hole to the right there, because the inside of this enclosure is all going to be covered with 1/2 inch styrofoam insulation as I insulate the box that the refrigerator will go into. So I've got the electrical sorted. I've started to insulate the outside wall, and I'm just using a kind of metallic bubble wrap type of insulation, and then some aluminum duct tape. So it's stuff that you'd use on heating ducts and things. It sticks pretty well to the aluminum frame here, so that's working out pretty well. I'm trying to keep the wiring and things exposed, because after I put a baffle in the back here that needs to be up against the back of the refrigerator. I want to be able to get to some of the wiring through the vent access hatch there. So you can see I've put a couple of pieces of wood here on each side. So the refrigerator needs to have 24 inches back from the front, and then there needs to be a baffle there. So I'm going to basically put a piece of 1/4 inch plywood between those two pieces of wood to create a baffle, which then I will insulate, and then that'll be right up against the back of the refrigerator. For the Norcold that we got, there needs to be an 18-inch opening at the bottom. So my baffle will go down just to the bottom of those two pieces of wood, and then air will flow in from the vent into the lower part of the refrigerator where the combustion happens and everything. And then this baffle in the back will create a chimney that will go up, and I'll seal it right up into the roof vent so that we get good airflow up the back of the refrigerator and right out the roof vent. So in the end, I don't want to have any kind of extra space around the top there that could be dead air space. I want the airflow to go smoothly right up the back of the refrigerator and then out that roof vent. Another quick note is the size of the front of the fridge is a little bigger than the opening that we had here originally, and so I actually took off this board here and moved it up about 3/4 of an inch. I'm also going to need to build out the front of this so that it's more level with the front of these other pieces, and that's where the fridge is going to install. And there'll be a couple of screws that'll hold the fridge at the top, a couple of screws down here at the bottom, and then a couple screws in the back, and that's how it installs, as opposed to the if you saw the previous video, these clamps on the side that held the original fridge in. So quite a bit more work to do. I haven't got to the gas line yet, so that'll be something I'll have to tackle also. But for now, things are coming together pretty well. Okay, next update. We have all of the insulation in on the 3 sides that the refrigerator will slide into. I used the 1/2 inch styrofoam insulating board, and I ended up using a full 4x8 sheet of that insulation to do the sides, and then also make the vent baffle at the top here. And it's kind of hard to see, but as I put all this in, I tried to tape all of the seams really well, because this whole area behind the front of the fridge is going to be where combustion is happening, and there's a chance of getting carbon monoxide from that combustion if you don't have all of this sealed, and if you don't seal the front of the refrigerator correctly or have the right venting. So I've been trying to make sure that I've got the right clearances on all 3 sides and the top, and that I've got this good vent to set up as clear a path as possible up and out the vent in the top. So it's kind of hard to see here. This is a baffle. The vent is actually behind this up to the roof vent. I've got a picture here that shows kind of what this is set up like. So on our coach, this roof vent is inboard a bit more, and there isn't as much gap here. And so I created this baffle piece. It's at a little bit more of a steep angle coming in more to where that roof vent is. And then I also tried to smooth out and have as straight a shot on the back as possible too. And so I've got the baffle in the back that's insulated. All these sides are insulated, and trying to get a very straight shot for the exhaust and heat to go up the back of the refrigerator and out this roof vent. So part of sealing that around the top was coming up with the right kind of shape for my styrofoam insulation. And so I used a cardboard template to get the right shape so that I could cut a piece of styrofoam that would go right up there and seal up inside to get a good clean edge to this enclosure going up to the roof vent. So we've got a bit more to do. We've got some sealing and insulating to do in the back. We've got the gas line to install. Still need to do some trim around the front here before we're ready to slide the refrigerator in, but I'm getting pretty close. Okay, so almost ready for the refrigerator install. I built some trim to put around this because we had to change the width of the opening a little bit, so make it a little bit narrower and a little bit taller. I've already talked a little bit about how I moved up the board in the back, but then I also wanted to fill in the difference between kind of the inset lip that the old refrigerator was mounted against versus this kind of outer lip, because the top of the fridge is going to cover up a bit of this on the top, and I didn't want to have a gap on the sides. So built this trim all the way around, stained it with some walnut polyurethane stain, and I think it looks pretty good. I used an alder wood because I thought the grain would match up pretty well with the Formica wood grain that's already here. So I think it's gonna look pretty good. It's gonna be mostly covered up by the refrigerator anyway, so I'm not too worried about that. The other thing I noticed is some of the tape where I taped this together was peeling up a little bit, and there was also a little bit of movement in the big panel here because it was just taped around the edges. And so I went ahead and got some 9/16 inch staples and stapled along the seams and a few in the middle here to hold this in place. I think, and with all the movement and shaking and things that we'll get with this going down the road, it'll be good for this to be a little bit more secure. So next step is to bring the refrigerator in and see if it slides in like it's supposed to. Okay, the refrigerator is installed. So a few things that we've done since the last update where we were sliding it in. We put in the mounting screws at the top and the trim, and the mounting screws at the bottom and the trim. There are quite a few notes in the instruction manual to make sure that all of the seal around the outside, the bottom and top and everything are installed, because it's part of the combustion chamber for when it's running on the liquid propane. We don't have the propane hooked up yet. I'm going to do another video about the propane hookup. So it's set up on 120. I also wired in the 12 volt, and there was already 12 volt and 120 for the old fridge, and so it was very easy just to connect those to the connections in the back. So it's now powered up and working. We let it cool down overnight and it got nice and cold. So down to, we didn't check the temperature in the freezer, but the refrigerator got down to 30 degrees very easily. And so looks like that's working well. We did take the panels from the old fridge and we were able to trim them down a little bit. We like these panels because they match the countertops, and so we still have that kind of retro look. I don't know if these are original or not, but they have the right kind of look for the year of the vehicle and everything. This is kind of a Formica material. I think it's the same material as the countertops, and so in one case it was a little bit too short, but the new refrigerator came with a spacer to allow for a shorter panel. This bottom one was actually a little bit bigger in both dimensions, and so I was able to trim that. To trim it, I just used some painter's tape along the line that I was going to trim, really stuck that down really well, and then just cut it on my table saw, and got nice clean cuts, slid right in to the place. One thing to note, this trim comes off, and that's how you get this off and then slide that panel in. This, you just have to pull on it pretty hard, and there's a groove here that it like pops out of and comes off. I wasn't sure I was doing it right, but after giving it enough of a straight pull out, it popped loose and came down. So new fridge, very nice LED light in there, running nice and cool. So very happy with that, and so I think we're all done.